warming up. It's warming up. Come on, let's see jazz hands, Walter. Let's see jazz hands. What you got? There you go.
You can't see my jazz hands.
Galise. Yeah. Yeah.
Stop touching yourself.
Exactly. That's Walter doing jazz hands. Patrick of the firearms rack. He's racking something over there. He's doing.
Why
He's doing dirty jazz hands, people.
Why the
dirty
S?
jazz hands.
Why do you pluralize it? Everyone pluralizes it. I don't understand
it. So, okay, we are live. I hope
literally no S in that fucking phrase.
I hope you got your big girl panties on. This is episode 335 of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast. Tonight, we're talking Alex Jones on Joe Rogan. Did you guys watch it? I watched the whole 4 hours, 40 minutes, and 20 seconds.
Yeah, no, I got better stuff to do with my
4 hours.
4 hours, 40 minutes.
Fucking moly. No way.
Yeah.
If you can't say it in 15 minutes, I'm out of there, babe. So
yeah. Walter, do you know the show is 2 hours long? Are you aware of that?
I know. And sometimes it's about ready to kill me at the end. So anyways.
I'm always entertaining. I don't know. I mean, as far as I know, I'm always entertaining. I think sometimes it's the other.
I don't feel like that's a
people.
subjective opinion.
So we're going to talk about that show. If you will, I watched it because when I get into the studio here and I'm doing stuff, I'm always watching movies or TV shows and things like that. So while I was here trying to figure out stuff, get things posted, I was watching, listening. And we're also going to have the discussion of whether or not Joe Rogan is a FUD. I know that I got lots of questions about that yesterday. I think actually while we were doing the show last night, and then I posted something and then I got more questions, and I think there's some things out there and people may be interested in that. Obviously, we'll talk about news and other stuff. We have Patrick on, so we'll have a discussion with Patrick about something. Look, Walter decided to show up.
So ambiguous.
What's ridiculous? What's ridiculous?
I said ambiguous. It's what an ambiguous sentence. We'll talk to him about, I guess, something.
Because I don't know. We're gonna call the segments with Patrick the tripwire. We'll see who come up with stuff. We'll see who could tripwire Patrick and get him set off on something.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a blast.
And then we'll talk, or he'll come up with something. You know, maybe he'll tripwire. Maybe we'll get Walter to rant. You know,
I don't know.
Yeah, I think if we say something about tanks, we might get a rant out of Walter.
Are they gonna ban them?
Yeah.
Only for old white guys.
We're gonna have a waiting period, 20-day waiting period.
That's a good. Did you hear what Patrick said?
What?
He said, "Go ahead, say it, Patrick."
Yeah, they're only gonna ban him for old white guys.
Oh well, I believe that. But then again, the old white guys are the only ones that have any money. So guess what?
I feel like that was racist.
Take it like you like it, but like you want it. But look who got who.
Wait, hold on a second. Is it like you like it or like you want it?
Take it on the backside if you like it. But the truth is, if you look at people that own tanks, it's mostly old white guys. So
I think we need some reparations so more black people can get tanks.
Well, they'd get a Cadillac. If it don't got a Cadillac Lego on that motherfucker, they ain't getting that shit. You know what I'm saying?
I'm being put on a list right now for being party to this. I know
we're deep diving.
You're gonna be permanently banned like that SEAL guy for outing the engine liar. Yeah. Beat on the drum and say you're a war hero, and then get outed by.
So wait, hold on. I'm lost here. The guy you're talking about is the guy that was doing the war dance in front of the kids?
Yeah, he got outed by a former Navy SEAL on YouTube, and now YouTube has platformed him.
What? No. Did I miss this?
It's been on the news, man. It's been on the news.
Oh, okay. Do you have a link to this?
I'll have to find it, but it was on Facebook. Yeah. I know that.
If someone knows about this, let me know, because I did not hear about that, and that's bullshit.
Well, hey, that's our world. So
yeah. Well, that's one of the things they were talking that Alex Jones was talking about.
He's probably not even an Indian. Come and think of it.
Yeah,
lie about all those shit. He's doing a Camilla on us.
Yeah, we're gonna have to test him. We're gonna have to test him and see exactly. Brian Quick says, "Is Hank controlled by interdimensional aliens?"
Hank is an interdimensional.
You know, good.
Yeah,
That's
he
a
came
good
through my
answer.
portal the other day. Yeah, whatever.
Wait a second, I didn't come into your portal.
No,
Are
I
you
didn't say
coming out of him?
I said come out of the portal.
I didn't go in or come out of your portal, Walt.
Okay, all right.
So this got weird.
Yeah, it got strange. Yeah.
Yeah, that is interesting. Am I
That'd be
interdimensional,
the old white guy,
or am I being
Okay.
controlled by them? Well, first of all, I don't do any of the drugs that you have to do to talk to the aliens, according to Alex Jones, because that's the secret of how you talk to the aliens.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you guys right now, I like Alex Jones. I'm like a fan of Alex Jones because he's a very passionate person, and I like that because I think I'm also a very passionate person. I'm not saying I believe everything he says, but I think half of what he says is true, and half of it will be true.
You know, I'm gonna say the fact that you believe you're a very passionate person and also had a podcast on Valentine's Day instead of spending time with your wife is telling.
That's how passionate I am. See, that's perspective. That's perspective.
Okay,
Yeah.
Brian
I
White.
did the podcast, and I still wait. Hold on a second. I'm not sure if I handled the business or not. Lola, did I handle the business on Valentine? Probably not. That's probably a no. I'll just tell on myself right now.
I got the next day business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know, it was deferred.
Yeah.
it was
Okay.
deferred. Go
In
ahead.
the chat, Brian Wyatt. The
Uh-huh.
M24 Chaffee tank has a Cadillac engine. It actually has two Cadillac engines.
Yeah, you know what? I heard you say that we were talking about some kind of tank when we did that military.
That's a show.
Yeah, thing, and I heard you say Cadillac engine. I was like, what?
Yeah, they ran. Some of those had two of the Cadillac.
Do those tanks have like diamonds in the back and all that kind of stuff?
They go gold-plated controls and stuff. Yeah,
yeah, because you know that's the kind of Cadillac you have to have.
Yeah,
Have you ever owned? Who on this panel has ever owned a Cadillac?
No.
A running Cadillac?
Yes. Have you ever owned a Cadillac?
No.
I've had a Cadillac. I had the first Cadillac Escalade. The
Ew.
Gen 1 Cadillac. That was a freaking awesome truck, by the way.
Fancy Suburban.
Yeah, but it was awesome. I missed that. I really missed that truck, man. It was pretty good to me. You know, I paid it off and everything. I don't often get to the point of actually paying off the car
before you get something else.
Yeah, but I actually paid it off, and then I think I wound up trading it. I got like one of those conversion vans, which is pretty cool. It's pretty badass. No, not what you're thinking, Patrick. Yeah, that was the family. I didn't want to get a station wagon or a minivan, so I got a conversion van, and it was pretty awesome. Actually,
did it have a mural painted on the side?
No.
Oh, okay.
You guys have probably seen it in my videos. If you go back to some of my early videos, you'll. I remember there was one I was talking to Mac, I think, in Kentucky, and you could see my van in the background. So
going riding my van.
Yeah, I couldn't convince him to get into the van. By the way, if anyone.
Bullshit, he'd get in there.
If anyone is wondering. So yeah. So Walter, I don't know. You were off. You were off yesterday, man. What the hell? What'd you get up to?
I jumped in. I turned on the podcast for about 5 minutes or 2 minutes, and I'm like, I'm off. I'm not watching tonight. So.
Oh, excuse me.
Excuse me.
Were we boring you?
Pardon me, but do you have any Grey Poupon?
Is there an expectation that we watch this shit?
Yes, actually.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, man. Like I consume so little gun content. Like I read my feed and look at the stories that grab my attention. I scroll through my subscriptions on YouTube, and that is like the extent of it. And unless something like reaches out and like, that's interesting, you know, like I get all the news before it gets published anyway because I'm doing that too. So,
but do you look at YouTube?
Man, I scroll through my subscription feed like twice a day, and if there's something that really catches my attention, generally it's something from CNR Arsenal or CN Arsenal rather. Or Forgotten Weapons, maybe the odd other video, but generally no.
Oh, okay. So you don't, because I look at a lot of YouTube, but I don't look at a lot of gun stuff unless something comes up and someone's like, "Oh, you got to look at this video from so and so." I look at a lot of car stuff on YouTube, and I look at cars and watches and other things like that because I'm doing the gun stuff all the time, and it would just my head would explode. You know.
Yeah, Like I've tried to like look at something else, and I just end up getting a recommendation for a gun video or something, and I'm like, man, get that shit out of here.
Reset all your stuff. If you go in there and reset everything, then they don't know what you're into.
Or I could just spend less time doing stuff that doesn't produce content. And focus
You
on
mean having a life?
How could you?
what is a life?
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
what
Well,
that is.
Yeah. So what about you, Walter? What do you look at on YouTube other than I don't know. I'm going to assume boobies.
I actually don't go to YouTube unless I'm on a mission to look something. Like
mission.
today, I went back on YouTube to see how to put the CZ Scorpion bolt back together.
Oh, okay.
Your gun, by the way.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Okay,
you got my gun over there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, is that still legal to do in Florida? Can we still?
I think you and I could do it.
Yeah, that sounded weird. Anyways,
yeah. We're getting close. By the way, shout out to Ashley from Gunstreamer. The Gunstreamer folks are out there. So,
but
hey, Gunstreamer.
Every once in a while, I'll end up on YouTube, and then I'll just bounce from how to build your own tracked vehicle to tanks to guns to somebody saw this in Egypt, like it built by the aliens, and next thing I'm going all different directions. So,
yeah, I look at stuff that I'm into. For example, I'm always looking up stuff I'm into. So I look at a lot of Audi R8 videos, which is kind of weird because probably like Patrick was saying, I could just go drive mine or something.
There you go.
But I like looking at the videos. And one of the interesting things, do you know that the Audi R8 was the most searched supercar on Google? Did you know that in the whole world?
No, I did not.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
It's not.
Did that make you feel good?
Yeah, confirmation bias always makes people feel good.
See, and that's why you watch the R8 videos. You want to see what other people have done to them. But
what did I do to myself?
Confirmation that you made a good decision.
Ginormous mistake.
Yeah,
by buying a fucking house of wheels.
You know what?
Some places in the country, 2 houses of wheels.
Yes, where I live, I could buy. Where I live, I could actually buy like 5 houses, like my property. Shout out to Skip's Tactical, by the way.
Well, the hardest thing to do is admit, and you just admitted it. So,
Yeah, I've always admitted it. I admit that stuff. But, I mean, when it's over, it's over. When I kick the bucket, Lola is going to get that little young 22-year-old Mandingo dude, regardless of what I do.
So
I might as well enjoy myself a little bit.
I've got 3 Type Galil guns. Can I get 3 or 4 more?
Okay. By the way, you know what I was looking for? I'm always looking to see how can I upgrade how many horsepower I have. That's always I'm always
them all now. Why does it matter?
But I want them just in case. This is just like guns. People
just like you got to put your thing in the back like Doc from Back to the Future and catch the wire and go.
Yeah, I want it just to
drive that car. Like old men drive faster, and by old I mean like 93 and Jewish.
Okay.
Yeah. You have obviously seen me drive. Yes.
All right, I got to do one thing here. Big Dick Willie's in the house. Boom.
Yeah. Okay. Shout out to Big Dick Willie. Lots of people. I see 904 Outdoors. I see Clover Attack. There's lots of folks in the chat. I mean, we just jumped into everything here, so we really didn't get a chance. Let's see. Hillbilly Nitro says PVC cold air intake, Hank. So I'm always looking. I'm not going to actually upgrade the horsepower or anything like that, but I look anyway. Just like Patrick is saying, I want to know, like, what are other people doing?
How much more money are they spending?
Yeah. A lot of confirmation bias. It's just like how people buy a gun. So someone will buy, I don't know, like a Diamondback gun or something like that. And then like, Hank Strange, tell me how awesome is my gun. You have to do a video on this because I want to know that my gun is awesome. So yeah, I get it. It's a real thing. It's a real thing.
This is why
I have never done that.
This is why I turned off my comments.
Don't you usually watch the review first before you buy a gun instead of buying a gun and find out you bought a turd?
No. You watch a bunch of reviews after you've already made your mind up that you're going to buy the gun, and then after you buy the gun, you continue to watch reviews so you can find the people that disagree with your opinion about that gun, and then argue with them using
It's called being a man.
perceived fact rather than something based in a semblance of reality.
Right.
That's kind of how it works.
If I buy a turd, I don't go out in the internet and admit to it. So,
well, okay. I think if I bought a gun and it was terrible, I would tell people this gun's horrible.
Well, I mean, I'm not. If that's
I've done that. I've done it before.
Yeah, I mean, but for whatever reason in this industry, man, people utilize the thing that they bought as part of their identity. Like, and if you attack that thing, you are attacking them.
Yeah. Yeah, because people have a desire to want to be perfect. And part of perfection is everyone else has to be like you or agree with the fact that you're awesome and you're perfect.
Man, no, so, I don't necessarily think that's it. I think that there are a lot of people that don't really know who they are, or they're not interesting enough to form their own personality, so they cling to the things they acquire to kind of form some sort of personality. Yeah, that's my take.
Yeah, I think probably a lot of look, we're living in the world, right? So we got to do something. And I think that, we do what we can do. We get our hands on whatever we can get our hands on. And that's why everyone's into some people collect shoes or some people buy shoes.
I have a friend that
dudes
collects
are into shoes. Buttons?
Buttons, like old buttons. Like,
okay.
That'd be like collecting coins. The same.
Yeah. No, what I'm talking about isn't necessarily like collecting something. I'm talking about people that buy into it as part of their identity, like the super fan, or
the guy who's like, I'm a Glock guy, or if you own Glocks, you're poor because you got to have SIGs because that you're somehow richer.
Like if you happen to have a tattoo of the manufacturer's logo on your body, you fall into that category of rabid tribalism.
Let me ask you this.
Fanboy.
Let me ask you this right now. What company would you guys say that people out there, gun guys, have the most tattoos of? Like what company?
Tattoos? Springfield Armory.
What?
Yep.
No, I've never seen a person with a Springfield Armory tattoo.
Are you serious? A bunch.
What? Okay, those people have serious psychological problems. They need to find help.
I'm gonna drop a link in the Hangout chat real quick.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not gonna blow this guy up.
Oh boy,
because he's a nice guy,
but he has one.
I mean, it's fucking epic.
Whoever that. Okay, I was gonna say HK. That's the tattoo I see the most. I don't know about you, Walter. Like the gun tattoo.
Memes.
No, I've seen people with HK tat. I've seen Marines with HK tattoos. Yes.
No, I'm not doubting you. I'm just trying to think if I've ever seen people with gun tattoos. I mean,
there's
seen every other freaking thing in the world, but I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, I see. Okay, I see people with gun tattoos all the time, but mostly I'm trying to think of which one I saw. Okay, I see Colt. I do see Colt.
Okay.
From time to time.
And there's the other arm.
Holy crap!
Let's see. Hang on.
This is a big tattoo. Oh no!
Whoa, dude.
Okay.
Why?
That's a cry for help.
Why?
That's a cry for help right there. I would rather see it. I would rather see the HK tattoo.
He's a super nice dude. He's a lot of fun to talk to. I don't know if his tattoo decisions are necessarily.
Does that guy does he work in the gun industry? Does he work for like?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Now is that a Springfield Armory like company logo, or is that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so he works for them.
No.
Oh. he used to work for them.
No.
Okay. His dream job is to work for them. No, I'm just trying to figure it out. Like, I need to know why. Listen, I make fun of the guys with the HK tattoos and stuff like that, but I don't understand why someone would have
I got one better for you. I have one better. Hang on.
Wait, what's this one here? What's this dude here?
This is going in a completely different direction of what I thought.
Oh yeah, no. Like this one I will absolutely call out.
Color coordinated gun with.
Where the hell is it?
That dude's got a target on his forearm.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care if somebody displays their love of firearms or whatever. Damn dog.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I've seen people do Colts. I've seen people do 1911s in tattoos. Everyone out there in the chat, tell me what tattoos you've seen the most. Dan Hates You says, I'm getting a tattoo. It's going to be hashtag less Hank, more Lola. Okay, fine.
Somebody, Adam Smith 86. I have a Safety Harbor Farms tattoo for realies. Am I cool now?
I would like to, we need actual evidence of that.
No.
No,
you don't want the evidence?
no. Oh, Caffeine Music Lover, penis tattoos. Okay.
I've never seen anyone with a penis tattoo.
Oh,
I think I've actually seen someone with a JJ tattoo.
oh,
Are you going to make me actually find the penis
no,
butterfly
no.
tattoo?
No. How about Spit First? You ever seen that one?
I know what you're talking about, but I've never seen it.
I feel like that is
with a chick says Spit First. Oh dear.
Yeah, Eric Hammond says the come and take it flag with an AR-15. Okay.
I've seen that stuff. Yeah. Oh no. Oh no.
There we go.
We'll
share that with you.
Says my brother-in-law just got a big "Don't Tread on Me" tattoo on his forearm.
What the? Oh dear.
I'm cool with that. I'm okay with it.
Oh, not this one.
The "Don't Tread on Me" tattoo.
No, not the one that Patrick just posted. No.
Oh, I think 13C. What the hell?
And even
what am I looking at?
Holy crap. It's like a bushel of dicks.
Is that a dude?
Like.
Is that on a dude's back?
I don't know. I didn't look that hard.
Okay, because I just want to know. Yeah, someone's going to have to tell me who this person is that has. I'm going to describe it to the person who's listening or the people who are looking but can't see this. Hold on. Maybe I should put this in the chat for other people out there to see. But basically what I'm looking at, at first glance, it looks like a butterfly. But if you look closer, it's a penis in the middle of where like two wings and a penis. But then if you look even closer, you realize all the wings are also penises. So yeah.
Okay. You just ruined my night. There we go. I had that image ingrained in my mind now.
Yeah. Some people should have consultations.
Oh, there's another one. Now that one, I mean, that's down by our butt crack too, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how we wound up. We were supposed to be talking about
that's where I saw it. The gun tattoos.
Oh, right? This is wow. Okay.
I mean,
interesting.
Yeah.
It's definitely special.
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah. Did I share that with people? Okay, I did. So you guys can take a look at that. We can share the misery with all of you out there.
And then I'm gonna. This is probably the worst gun tattoo I've ever seen. Give me a second to rehost it.
And I'm gonna go down.
Yeah. So please,
there you go.
You might want to consult with some people before you get tattoos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But hey, it's your body. Ultimately, you can do what you want to do with it. And oh boy.
Honor defense.
Okay, that's not even real. That can't be real.
That's real.
Somebody did not tattoo honor defense on their arm.
Yeah, no, it's probably the worst decision I've ever seen made.
Wow. Okay.
Whatever.
That's interesting. Okay.
Whatevs.
Okay, it's good to know that gun guys also make bad choices.
Oh, yeah, no. There's a lot of those that get made.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so I don't know. You guys, it sounds like from the beginning, you guys did not look at the Joe Rogan. Alex Jones podcast.
No. I have better stuff to do with 4 hours of my time.
You're not 4 hours 40 minutes. Excuse me.
I was making the donuts.
And it's not even the longest podcast. They were talking about this on the show. The longest podcast they did was like 6 hours. I think we can beat that, guys. I think we can do a 12-hour podcast.
A what?
We can make history. We can do it 12 hours.
12 hours of what?
Where's the end button on this thing? You're on your own.
I'm not saying right now.
Sayonara, motherfucker.
Yeah, there are people out. Okay, you guys out there, tell me if you watched it live. I actually thought it was really, really amusing. If you have the time, listen. First of all, you don't have to watch the whole 4 hours and 40 minutes. There's a bunch of snippets out there that you can look at. I think there's a part where, what's the name of the guy? Is it Johnny Bravo or something like that? Joe Rogan has a friend. His name is something Bravo, and him and Alex Jones were arguing. That was real funny. Lots of good stuff in there. I found it was very, very amusing. Big Cliff says Alex Jones might very well be freaking nuts. Okay, I believe that.
I've had my times.
Yeah, I think lots of us are crazy out there. I don't know who's actually sane. If you think you're sane, you're probably crazy.
Boring.
Just by the way. So what's boring? Being sane?
Sane people.
Yeah. I don't think there's a lot of actually sane people out there. But you know what? I think it was it was interesting, the conversation, all the different things they talked about. And I think it was entertaining. If it was boring to me while I was working, I would have definitely tuned out from it. But there was a lot of fun, funny stuff in there. I know there was a part of it, because one of the things we're going to talk about is whether or not I think they're FUDs. There was a part of it where they were all reiterating that they believe in the Second Amendment amongst a few other things.
Well, a lot of these anti-gunners do that.
Yeah, I mean, that's
then they go, but what?
Right. Yeah. That's the thing I was going to say. I mean, I know there's some stuff out there where I think that Joe Rogan had a podcast that he did with this British reporter or something that lives in Mexico. And they came across the subject of guns and a lot of things. I went back and looked at it. I think Yankee Marshall was talking about this or put out a video yesterday. And you know what? I would have to agree with Yankee Marshall, actually. What Joe Rogan and what the guy was saying, it was very fuddy stuff that they were saying. I get it from the guy, right? He's British. So that's really fucked up right there, you know? And then after that, he's like a British reporter that's in Mexico. But it seems to me like, what is that? What is it? Is it Stockholm syndrome? When the people who capture you, you fall in love with them and then you think they're awesome?
No, it's called ISIS wife syndrome.
Yeah. I think that reporter has that, because they were talking. I didn't look at the whole thing. I looked at different clips. I looked at the part that Yankee Marshall was talking about. And I think that guy is infatuated with Mexico, even though it's fucked up. So Mexico is okay, even though it's fucked up, but America, horrible. And we somehow have something to do with Mexico being fucked up. You know, which is, you know, that there's obviously there's some kind of relation because we share a border, but you know, but here's the thing, how can we have something to do with Mexico being fucked up, but they don't have anything to do with America being fucked up?
Overconsumption of tacos? I don't
know. You know,
oil, it'd be kind of like Venezuela, oil rich country, and
yeah. But the stuff I saw Joe Rogan say on that other podcast, not this one, that other podcast when it came to guns, I think that, you know, Joe Rogan, maybe he believes in the Second Amendment, but he doesn't understand it. You know, and definitely doesn't understand gun guys at all.
The little bit I heard, it was like nobody understood anything what they were saying. I don't care who they were.
Yeah. Well, because I think what happens, first of all, Joe Rogan is he's an entertainer, he's a comedian, he's an actor.
Is he from the Northeast?
He's a podcast guy. He may be from the Northeast, but he spent a lot of time in LA. That's where he's doing his show.
Oh, even worse. Yeah.
Yeah, not everyone out there is like that, but I think that these guys, their idea of what we are, and the funny thing is, I've seen Joe Rogan have gun guys on his podcast. He's had Navy SEALs and things like that come on. He's had Colin Noir and other people come on the show. But I think he himself, even though he says he owns guns, I don't think he's not in guns as much as we may think.
I just want to point out that's the second time I've heard you mispronounce Coleon's first name. Is that something subliminal?
What, Coleon? That's what I call him. What
No,
did
you
I
just
say?
said colon.
Oh, I said colon?
Yeah, you did it yesterday too.
Oh, yeah. I switch it up sometimes. People people call him Colin, Collins, Coleon. You know, I think, you know, no, I'm not thinking, it's not subliminal. It's
I
not
thought
Freudian.
it was funny.
It's not Freudian. Or maybe you misheard me, man. I don't know. We have to.
No.
We'll
Did
have
Hank
to,
Strange misspeak?
yeah. What did I say? Did I say Coleon or Colin?
It was colon.
I wasn't paying attention.
All right. Yeah. I think Patrick is trying to bamboozle me. We'll go to the people, or I'll run it back and see. Either way, I think that you know, the same things that Joe Rogan is saying, like they were talking about a gun show. I guess this reporter was telling him that he went to a gun show and he could just buy guns. Yeah, that's not really true. And if he did do that, or he saw people trying to do that, those people are breaking the law. And that's the funny thing about laws, right? Maybe people don't actually have to follow the laws.
It kind of depends on where that gun show was.
In certain places you can have private sales of gun shows. It's more up to the promoter if he's going to let that happen or not.
Yeah, but I think that
my state's like that, you know.
Yeah, but I think the nature of what he was talking about, like the guy said, oh, there was a guy that just had stacks of boxes of AR-15s. Now, yes, you can do private sales and that happens. There's people there who, but if you are engaged in the business of selling guns, you have to get an FFL. If you get an FFL, you have to follow the law.
Well, specifically, if you're engaged in the business of selling guns with the aim to make a profit, that's when an FFL is required. Yeah. Now, if you're downsizing your collection and you bought 432 Palmetto State Armory AR-15s,
just because,
yeah, if you bought them during, you know, like the 08, you know, scare or whatever,
yeah,
you know, like, and you decide, you know what, I don't need 400 of these, and then you set up a table at the gun show with 400 boxes full of AR-15, like that's entirely legal.
Yeah, I mean, and if that's a one-time thing, like you're saying, or even you come back there multiple times to move your collection, there's nothing wrong with that. It's when you are engaged in the business of commerce related to guns, like as Patrick is saying, making a profit. Who says Rogan is a big hunter? I think he's a big bow hunter and other things. I'm not saying he doesn't hunt with guns, but I think he's a big bow hunter. So, yeah. So what they were talking about, I think, I don't think they really dug into that, right? And part of what they were talking about, we know something about because we've had Mike Deddy come on. I don't know if you know who Mike Deddy is, Patrick.
No.
He was Mike Deddy is was an FFL. I don't know if he's still an FFL in Arizona that was involved in Guns Across the Border or Operation Wide Receiver. Basically, the government, the ATF, asked him to sell guns to people that he knew was taking those guns into Mexico. And
then they flipped on him.
Yeah. So so what happened was at a gun show. Just to recap, but we've got interviews, we've got podcasts with Mike Deddy. He was selling guns. He went to a gun show, was selling stuff. Someone came to him and was trying to buy these guns, and he felt like that person was making straw purchases, and he reported that to the ATF, and they asked him to allow that and help them and work with them to sell those guns. And lots of guns got sold, and the ATF approved all of these things because he did the background checks and all that stuff that he was supposed to do. And they approved all of that, and lots of guns went across the border. And of course, they were never able to track it. They didn't really capture or convict anyone on it. And in the end, when that whole scandal broke, they turned on Mike and they tried to set him up and do all kinds of different things. I think they hacked all his stuff, but luckily for him, he kept records of everything that he did. And even the tapes, the audio tapes that he made, he was selling this stuff out of his house to cartel people. So he kept all the records and the tapes and everything. And it's the only reason why he's not in prison. And he was always a good guy. You know, he was a guy that was in the Marines and wanted to go into the FBI and all that kind of stuff. And they just totally screwed him over. So, you know, that's why I'm saying like things like that happen, but we've got rules and laws set up for that. I don't know what people always think that you make the laws and that's going to do something, you know, or you create a department and you hire a whole bunch of people and that's going to, you know, solve or settle everything that happens. So, I think that's one of the things they were talking about. The other thing that I think Joe Rogan was saying, that he has a friend who has like a knife and a gun and all these different things.
He has a knife. I got a knife.
Yeah. Knife. But you know, they were saying it like the guy's evil because he has, you know,
he's looking to shoot somebody or something like that. He said he's looking for a fight or something like that. It's like,
yeah.
What?
Babyface P says, what's his name? Mike. It's Mike Daddy. Detty. Mike Daddy. So, you know, that whole thing, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Is there the guy out there that's into guns and doing all of this because he wants to hurt people? What do you think? Silence. Nobody has. What do you think?
I'm sure there's a few people out there like that, but the majority no.
Yeah. I think there are. It's just like there's guys who become police officers so they can bully people. But that's not all police officers. No. You know, I think there's some people who might go into the military so they can kill people, but that's not most people that go into the military. So
no, they go in the military for a free education. And what do you mean I gotta go to war? Come on,
yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I think that, you know, you obviously in a thing that human beings are involved in, you have people who do things for the wrong reason, but I don't agree that's everyone. And the funny thing about it, that's coming from Joe Rogan, who is this, you know, he's a fighter, right? He does jujitsu and all these different kinds of things. And I think a lot of people might look at him that same way. I actually listened to his podcast and he talks about choking people out and all kinds of things all the time. So does that make me think that he's learning how to fight so he can knock people out and choke them out and kick their ass?
Until he finds that guy with a gun and he gets shot.
Yeah. But what I'm saying to you is he's involved in this thing. Like when you're an enthusiast of something, right? Like I like guns just for the fun of it. And so I shoot a lot of guns and stuff like that. That doesn't mean that I do that because I want to hurt people. I do it because it's fun for me. You know, I enjoy doing that. It's part of my creative process. I make videos and things like that about it. But that doesn't mean I want to inflict damage on people out there. And that's why I'm into it. But we could say that about him too. You know, he's big muscle, but he works out all the time. He takes steroids and does all that stuff. I don't think that he should be licensed and we should, you know, make more laws around people like him because they're dangerous weapons walking around there, you know, with their fists and their ability to choke you out. You know, but that's how it came across to me that they felt about it. So,
you know,
yeah. Is Patrick even awake here? See this? Can we see your face? Can we see your face yet, or are you still like handling the business over there, man?
Yeah.
You can't put cocaine on the tip. It just makes it worse.
Oh dear.
Officially the second worst podcast I've been on so far.
And then guess what the first one was.
Kathleen Music Lover says he likes wrestling with other men. That's true. I hear him talking about that all the time. He likes tumbling and rolling around with dudes. Okay, I get it. Personally, I prefer people don't touch me. You know,
yeah.
You know, you always got to worry about the guy who's like, you know what we should do? Let's wrestle. I noticed, you know what's funny? Okay, if you look at the podcast with Alex Jones, the minute that he the minute that Johnny Bravo, whatever the guy's name is, got there, he's like this Mexican fighter that Joe Rogan knows. He was like, "Oh, you got to choke me out."
Huh?
Yeah, why don't you choke me out? He kept trying to make the guy choke him, and I was like, "Okay, this is a fetish."
Yeah, he probably wants him to choke his. You know what? Yeah.
I think Alex Jones says that when he was a teenager, he used to get choked out. He did that like 100 times or something like
that. That's what happened to him. Lack of oxygen.
I think he got someone like suplexed him on his head or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
No kidding. Eddie Bravo, someone RTT guy. I don't know why I'm thinking Johnny Bravo. Is that like a cartoon?
Johnny Bravo's
guy?
a cartoon. He used to be on Cartoon Network. Pretty Mama. Remember him? He had the hair. He's a big.
Yeah, he looked like Elvis, but
blonde hair.
Was Elvis blonde? I don't know.
They say Elvis was blonde naturally.
Oh, okay, but
he dyed his hair black.
He was a brunette. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Moobut says Eddie Bravo is one of the best jiu-jitsu fighters ever. I guess that's why Joe Rogan wanted to be. I would never tell a dude choke me out. I'm just telling you that right now. That's not normal.
No,
I don't know.
Do the monkey with me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what Johnny Bravo used to say. Yeah.
Yeah. Kathleen Music Lover says sumo wrestling is hot. Sumo wrestling
and sweaty.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what she means by it's hot. Maybe she likes looking at dudes doing the sumo thing.
I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe it's those rags up their butt crack that really gets it going. I don't know.
Yeah. Right. Russ says he's so good no one knows him. And Steve Pro 2A says he broke concrete with his head. I don't know if he's talking about Alex Jones, like someone body slammed him or suplexed him or something on his head.
Oh.
And
ow.
Yeah, I think Joe Rogan was asking that. Maybe he thought he suffered from a brain injury. Ray Bozzolo says, I would tell a girl to choke, never mind. Alex Jones did say that when he was young, there was a girl who said to him, this really hot chick said, if I could put makeup on your face, if I can make you up, then you can do the nasty with me. So he let her, like put makeup on his face so that he can have sex with her. So, but that's not so. I don't find that so weird.
Okay.
I don't really find it.
Alrighty then.
When you're a teenager, there's a couple things I don't find that crossing the line.
That must have been from the 80s when you.
Yeah. Do you think that's crossing the line, Walter? Would you? Is that?
I never had to have anybody put makeup on my face.
Yeah, but would you?
Probably not.
No. Okay, so it was like some hot chick.
I would probably say like, why do we?
If Madonna came to you in the 80s,
Madonna wasn't really that hot.
Like the beginning Madonna with the eyebrows like mine. You
don't
got no eyebrows. I got eyebrows now.
Thanks.
Huh? What's that?
That's something I can't unsee. Thank you.
With caterpillars, with the big caterpillars.
Do you remember that like Madonna when she first came out was more real? Like I grew up in the 80s, so I remember the first gen.
I would call that and I those big eyebrows. I call her Arlie Ermies, because Arlie Ermy had the big caterpillars.
Yeah. There wasn't a lot of eyebrow grooming, and there wasn't any grooming then. Yeah, nowadays dudes groom their eyebrows.
Well, I mean, if you got
I've been accused of that.
Huh?
I've been accused of that more than once.
Oh, okay. Oh, you do that? Okay.
No.
Oh, okay.
Too much effort.
Yeah. Too much pain.
I just don't care enough.
Yeah. Chris Bullis says Madonna with the pit hair. That's classic Madonna. That's classic. Yeah. That's classic Madonna.
Pit hair. Yeah. Probably a little funky too. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, look, I thought the podcast actually was a good show and all that kind of stuff. But if you ask me, I do think that I'm not going to say that about Alex Jones, but I would say probably Eddie Bravo and Joe Rogan and those guys. We could put them in the category of being what the hell?
What somebody did.
And that's not. I don't want that. I'm not even going to look at this picture, Patrick. You know what Patrick was doing when he took this snapshot right here. Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, look, I think those guys are fuds. I don't think they're necessarily have our grasp or understanding of the Second Amendment or guns and all that kind of stuff. But I think at the same time, we can't expect everyone to be, oh my God, this is getting worse.
No.
Is this a live picture that we're looking at now?
No.
Oh, okay. But it's really scary. If anyone out there is shocked or traumatized, send all your emails to patrick@thefirearmsrack.com.
Yeah.
I won't answer them.
Yeah, I think that's your email.
You pluralize it again, so
Oh, it's the firearm.
That's what I say. There's literally not an S anywhere in there.
The firearm rack. Racks. Firearms racks. Just change it, man. Just put 2 S's in there, for crying out loud. Just add the S's. Russ says butt plugs hurt.
And I'm glad that he knows that.
Oh boy.
Hashtag traumatic experience. That's the thing, apparently.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Listen. Okay. Let's switch away here for some things. What have you been up to, Patrick? What have you been up to?
Man, I have been working a bunch, doing a lot of shooting.
This picture is disturbing me now.
Man, it's just something you're gonna have to live with. I'm sorry about your luck. I'm just working a lot.
By the way, Dan Hates You wants to know. So it only holds 1 firearm. Your rack.
What?
It's a question. It's a question. Because you said you call it the firearm rack.
Right.
So he just wants to know: does it only hold 1 firearm?
Depends on the size of the firearm. Realistically, it was the URL that was available.
Oh, okay. Understood.
Yep,
which, in this day and age, surprisingly, is something that one should take into account when establishing a business.
Yes, it is.
So,
True.
all of the other names that I wanted to, because the firearm rack was initially going to be a gun store, a website that did like deal a day stuff, and it was before I even started messing around with gun media stuff. And Alex C and I were setting it all up, and I bought the domain, registered the domain, and a couple of other ones associated with it. And we ended up killing the idea because it was just really garbage time to start a gun business.
Yeah.
And I just retained the URL, and that's just what I rolled with.
Yeah. Brian Quick says the word firearm is describing the type of rack it is, not the available capacity. And by the way, I challenge people to screen capture Patrick's icon here, this face thing that I'm putting on the thing right now.
That's on my Instagram.
And do what you will with it. Do what you will with it. And
it's on my Instagram. It's not like it's hard to find. Put
hashtag Hank Strange or hashtag WMMF podcast or something on there. Tag us so we can see it. Oh, face. You know what? Patrick would be great with face tattoos, man. I like 6ix9ine or something like that. I could see, with a bunch of, yeah. I think also if
the Photoshop machine.
Yeah, I think also if Patrick had like those dreads that were multicolored, that would be cool. Yeah. He could be Little Pat. Do you know like all these rappers now are little something?
A little brick short of a load is what they are. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all little something, little pump, little this, little that.
Little prick. Really,
yeah.
Little wife beater. Little
face tattoos. What do we
call? Oh wow, man! Here? I just found a cell phone case that's close to mine.
There's just not really any good face tattoos.
No.
Mike Tyson's face tattoos are cool, in my opinion.
Oh man,
tribal.
Your opinion might be shit.
I agree on that face tattoo thing. No.
I'm just saying.
His face tattoo looks tame to
I mean, I'm not going to tell Mike that, but
yeah.
Because he had a tendency to
I feel like I would take the beating.
No,
it might be fun, right?
no.
Would
there's
likely
no-
look at it and be like, "Why, man?"
Yeah, I think I don't think that Mike is really kicking people's asses anymore. So, all right, who has some stuff to show? You guys want to show some cool stuff? Who's got something?
I have all the same stuff that I had previously, so
No, you've got more stuff in the safe. Don't lie to us.
I mean, none of it's cool, and I'm busy tattooing an AK-47 on my face right now.
Oh, okay. That'll be nice.
Is that are you doing the primal way with a stick?
No.
Or using just a Sharpie.
The computers are wonderful things.
He's okay. He's doing it to himself.
Oh,
I'm
dear.
doing I'm photoshopping my own face.
Yeah. Okay.
Hmm.
Walt,
I'm
what
not
do you?
gonna let your listeners have all the fun. Fuck that.
Yeah. So Walt, what are you up to over there?
What am I up to? Well, I'm digging through these phone cases I had, seeing if any of them will fit my phone. I already have one, but these are the ones I've tried to give away a couple times on the podcast here, and nobody seems to want them. So.
Is it fitting? Is it
No,
fitting?
well, it fits, but it's the camera lens doesn't line
The
up
wrong
perfectly.
place. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's
yeah.
the problem with phone cases, man. They get outdated real fast.
It's a communist plot.
Yeah. Well, because the phones are constantly being upgraded.
Yeah,
So
that's what they say. Yeah.
yeah.
I think it's a coordinated effort.
Yeah.
But what am I doing? Let's see here. Well,
where's that Galil that you had?
All
Or
right,
do you
here.
want me to open this thing? I could open this thing.
Open this. Give us a surprise. What you got?
Yeah.
Me a surprise.
So here's the package. I guess I could show the address here because it's the address to the studio. It says Hank Strange.
If
Hank
anybody's
Strange
got a spare
Media.
pizza, send Hank a pizza.
No, that's fine. I'm good. I'm good. And it's from a company called Ben Shot. So I don't know if anyone's ever heard of that.
Oh,
That
I
might
think
give
I
you-
have an idea now.
That might give you a clue as to what's in there. I'm pulling out my knife. I don't know why. I don't think I really need a knife to get it open. You can go like the old school way. The Egyptians invented this thing that you rip and then it doesn't work. So I guess the Egyptians messed that up. But let's see. We'll get it out of there. It's in another box. Okay. Now we need the knife, finally.
The knife.
Get the knife in there. So people out there can tell me who's heard of Ben Shot. If you guys ever heard of it, not heard of it. These guys actually got in touch with me through Insta. And this is what the box looks like inside. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know what's going on with that. Let me see. Open it up.
Oh yeah. Okay, I know what these are.
Says shot glass with a real bullet.
I was right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So let's see. So I'm gonna have to open one of these up and get it. There's some other stuff in here, but
What are you
so I
gonna
guess
have?
I gotta open one of these cans.
Well, how are you gonna get the shot glass out if you don't open the can, man?
I
I call first dibs. First dibs.
Oh, you
First
can have it.
dibs.
These things are tiny.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Boom.
Look
you
at the
go.
shot
Look
glass
at
with the
that.
bullet in it.
There you go. Very cool. Actually, that's pretty cool.
Coincidentally, they also have an affiliate program that they don't leave you alone about.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
So, boom, there you go. Well, if they have an affiliate program, I don't know anything about it at this point.
No, maybe it's Lucky Shot USA that does.
Yeah.
They do the same thing.
Yeah, but that's really cool, though. It's a nice little shot glass with, what is that going to be in there? I don't know. Is it 223? Is it? I don't know.
It looks like they're all the same on
Yeah.
the website.
Yeah. So let's see what's in the other one. The other one's probably the same kind of shot glass.
Yeah, it's going to be a 308 or a 45. They do
Okay.
a 308, a 45, or an expanded 45.
Okay, so that's probably the 308 in there. Let's go. Let's
Well,
see this
cool.
one.
You've got a glass to drink out of while you listen to the Joe Rogan Fud Hour.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Fud
That goes.
caliber.
So now we've got two of them. There you go.
Are they
Now
actually
we just
glass?
Send you the
Yeah.
45s.
Yeah. So, there you go. It's cool. I don't have any liquor around here, but I think it's cool. And then there's some other things.
Don't drink anyway.
Not too much. These are probably coasters or something. Take a look at me.
While you're doing that,
sure. Oh, boom! Yeah, coasters.
Leather ones. What are they made out of?
Bulletproof. It looks like they're just made out of wood.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of things with bullets in them and wood.
Right. Uh-huh.
I assume we talked about it earlier. That gentleman that shot himself in the penis.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Yeah. Let's see.
Was he like appendix carrying a high point? What was he doing?
Yes, he was carrying a high point 9mm appendix.
Let me see if I could pull up that story because that's funny. Let's see. Okay, here we go. I got it right here. I will share this with everyone out there. I think you and Walter already have it, so I don't have to share it with you guys. So here's the headline. Or do you want to read this headline, Patrick?
Let me find that link that you just posted because, yes, I do. There we are. Man, they really, did a terrible job with that headline.
Yeah,
Marion police respond after man accidentally shoots self in genitals.
Yeah. What headline would you? Yeah, what would you do?
Man,
man shoots off his tallywhacker.
I probably would have. I probably would have titled it "Shot in the Dick" with one of those little pipey things, and then after that, it would have been "Boom, headshot."
Yeah, one to the nuts. You can call it one to the nuts. So tell people what happened. Tell people.
Yeah, I mean, so dude was carrying a high point 9mm in his waistband.
No holster.
Early Thursday morning, near a Girl Scout cabin.
What?
Apparently, yeah, it's in the news story. He was on the walkway near the Girl Scout cabin in Marion, and I quote. So yeah, he has his high point 9mm tucked into presumably his gray Walmart sweatpants, and it started to slip because he didn't have it in a holster. So he reached down to adjust the gun like they do in the rap videos, and it discharged. So the bullet entered just above his penis and exited through his scrotum.
Ow.
Oh,
a nut exit. That does not sound like a good time.
Shot through the heart.
I guess boom headshot wouldn't be appropriate. And, now that I think about it, it probably would have been.
Oh, nuts!
Shot in the dick, and it's a real pain.
Yeah. How to make yourself a one nutter? Yeah.
Probably shot in the dick. That's a real ball buster.
Damn, man! Listen, dudes, get holsters. If you saved money buying the high point, you can get holsters out there. Now, I believe there's companies that make holsters for high points.
Yep.
And there's universal holsters, not so great, but
no, there is a company called Hater Holsters that actually makes quite nice inside the waistband holsters for high point pistolas. I have one.
Oh.
Now, so why was he walking in the walkway near the Girl Scout cabin in why was he hanging around the Girl Scouts? And did the Girl Scouts save him when he shot himself in the nut? And how do you explain that to the Girl Scouts when they all come out? Do you go, "Oh my God, I shot myself in the nut"?
Scream "ow my dick" repeatedly until somebody renders aid.
Yeah, not a good idea to do that around the Girl Scouts. I don't think, by the way, Harry's Holsters has a high point holster.
There's a company called Hater Holsters.
Hater, yeah. There's no code that I could get you guys over there. You could use the code Hank Strange if you want to go to Harry's Holsters. Now, so this thing did come with a card from these guys from Benshot, and it says, "Before this glass ended up in your hands, it was ours. Our expert glass makers make each glass in our workshop. Enjoy the father and son team at Benshot." And then there's a promo code. It is Benshot25 for 25% off. Boom. I'll hold that up for you guys for anyone who's interested.
You're getting kind of broken up, pixelated.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting pixelated. Lola.
Are you loading something?
You were just
No.
black there too.
Oh, hold on. Let me see.
What are you doing?
Unplug my phone. Give me my phone. I don't know. I don't think I have any devices on the internet. I could check.
That's pretty
Oh,
rough.
this phone was online. Maybe that's why.
Ah.
The phone was ratting me out. Yes, as phones tend to do. Is that getting any better?
No,
Is that
you're
any
still
better?
No, not really.
Lola, get up. I know you're also on the internet, woman.
Woman.
You got to get off the internet. Okay, but can you guys see me?
I can see.
You know, not real well.
Getting any better yet? No. Oh well.
Like your video keeps dropping out, and when I say you're black, I'm not being funny. Like I'm seeing a black screen when you speak.
Oh,
Really?
you're just
Okay.
kind of going it. Oh, wait, hang on.
Yeah. What's up? Can you guys hear me? I don't know if we're.
Oh, I can hear you. I can see it, but you're like choppy.
Oh, okay.
Choppy.
All right.
Now it got better. Well, for a second it got better.
It may get better here. I don't know. May have to check.
To go
Let
feed
me,
the goats to power your generator or whatever.
Hold on a second.
Lola, pedal faster.
Yeah. Let me go check. Let me check something here and see what's going on. Hold on. Let me see. I might have some devices on.
How dare you?
I don't think so.
Is there not better internet there?
Oh.
Talk amongst yourselves.
No, don't worry. I am.
All right.
Huh? Yeah, I'm having a hard time finding any information about Mark Anthony Jones, the penis popper guy.
Mark Anthony Jones.
My phone was on, but that's about it. So
now you're better.
Okay. Yeah, it might have been my phone. Hopefully, it's clearing up. I don't know. We'll see.
No, I'm like really hoping. Hey, maybe I found him.
Who are you searching for?
Space.
Did you find what?
I believe I found our guy that shot himself in the dick. So it says he's 46. So that would put it right around 1973, 1972. Yep, I found him.
1970, yeah, 2 or.
Go to a different wind, yeah.
You are tracking this guy down?
Yeah, I found his Facebook.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
I'm guessing he's a very handsome devil.
You know.
No. Does he look anything like this?
Does this? Let me see.
Does he look anything like this guy that we just popped this picture up on the screen?
Well, hang on.
That's when the gun went off.
This guy right here.
Screen sharing.
Is that guy?
No.
I think it's that guy. Or is it that guy?
It might be. It might be
There
one
you
of
go.
these moments.
Can I appendix carry on my damn 300 blackout?
For now.
Let's see.
You get that one. You earned it.
Oh my God. We don't. What did we do to deserve that, man? Why do you hate us? Why do you hate us?
Lock the screen on me. See what you get. Yeah, like there's no indication that this dude has a daughter. Like,
okay, Patrick is doing a deep dive into this guy's background.
well, I mean, this is part of my job, man.
Okay, Tango Hunter says, Hanko Lola, did you get a chance to read that the CEO from SIG is being prosecuted? Actually, there was some news about that. I think they made a deal.
That was, you talking about SIG or HK?
SIG, the CEO
SIG.
in Germany, right?
That was HK, one of them too.
Oh yeah, you know what?
HK they sold guns to Mexico.
Right.
They weren't supposed to. That was in the news today too.
Yeah, the HK guy. I'm looking at.
They got a suspended sentence.
Yeah,
I just dropped a link. I found a photo of this dude. He's the gentleman in the center.
All right, I gotta check it out.
Hugging what is presumably either a child or some midget.
Okay.
Okay. Well.
Okay. Yeah, we're not gonna put that out there, but.
Bless his heart.
I mean, like, it's not like it's hard to find.
Yeah. Please, everyone out there, for the sake of your own,
Gimmick.
bits and pieces, kibbles and bits,
And then
your own family jewels, whatever you want to call it, use holsters.
That next one, that looks like the type of man that owns a High Point. That's also the type of man that wears sweatpants and a Dale Earnhardt jacket.
Man, we're being stereotypical, aren't we?
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I can say this: I do not own a pair of sweatpants, and secondly, I do not have any kind of NASCAR apparel. So
you have no sweatpants whatsoever?
Negative.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not a poor, and I buy the
not a poor
pants that are what not poor people wear.
YNA says he wanted to use his penis as a holster. And Dan Hates You says the HK thing is old news.
It kind of is, actually.
And Yinek Stoner says it's better now. So is my image coming out better to you guys?
Yes, it is.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, the HK thing is kind of old. I heard about that months ago.
Yeah, the SIG thing is also out there, but I don't know if they settled that case.
Yeah.
I think
the Germans are all high and mighty now. If you read the thing about the HK thing, they're all righteous now about weapons stuff and everything. So, instead of
what?
Oh, well, about their procedures and all that bullshit.
They've got they've got like laws they have to follow.
Yes, they do, but you can have laws to follow, then you can have social what do you call it here, when you're going to save the planet in addition to the laws,
social justice,
that kind of bullshit. So the Germans are all they're all about being not Nazis anymore. So
yeah. By the way, Kenny Van Cleve says, hey, what's wrong with sweatpants?
They fit great they fit in great at Walmart.
Yeah, and Brian Quick says, how dare Patrick defame the Intimidator? And Kenny Van Cleve says sweatpants and flip-flops. Drew Cipher says, man, I'm in sweatpants now. Did he just say he buys leggings?
No, those like fucking pajama pant things that gained popularity in the early 2000s.
Oh, it's almost furry, like the furry.
No.
Okay, I'm not sure I know what you're talking about. So LV Louis Cipher says the SIG CEO took a plea deal, 22 months suspended sentence, and $1 million fine.
Yeah, HK got fined $4.5 million, whatever that is, $4.5 million euros or something. I don't know. Whatever the money of the day is over there. Yeah.
The money of the day.
I mean, who pays for that? Does that guy have to pay that personally, or is that SIG?
I'm sure SIG will cough up the coin, but I mean, I'm not. That's just an assumption.
Yeah.
This isn't the first time this stuff has happened, where the government has gone after the CEO for some arbitrary crap.
Yeah. Dan Hates You says only Magpul skinny jeans for Patrick. So
I own Magpul pants.
Probably, I bet you do.
I do. They were like
the other day you wear the
$12 a pair.
12?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I guess in the bargain bin or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shopping
at the SA boutique.
No, man. LA Police Gear closeouts are awesome.
Okay. Oh, you know what I was going to talk to you guys about?
Yes, sir.
Where is this? Let me see if I could pull. I wanted to talk about this yesterday. Okay, let me see whose article am I going to pull up for this one. So have you guys heard of the 612?
612.
The 612. What? The 612. I'll throw up an article here. Yes. I have some videos
the
on
cry
this.
Thing.
Yeah, it's. I think now it's Vintage Arms or something like that. Now
it used to be the cry thing. Well, yes,
yeah,
I have read that.
Yeah, so apparently this is coming out now. It's not a unicorn anymore.
All right. Well, how much is this unicorn going to cost?
Vintage Arms 612 shotgun. So I guess it's coming out. Recoil has an article on it.
Well, right there, that was expensive.
Yeah, I'm looking for the. There's going to be a wood version, Walter.
Was that an assumption that
that I'll get wood?
Yeah.
no, that you have to pay money to get into recoil?
I'm not saying a word. I'm just saying it costs money to do anything in recoil. So
yeah, I'm sure you've looked into that, Walt.
I ran an ad once in recoil. It's expensive.
Well, yeah, I mean, an ad would be. The articles aren't.
Let's see here. I'm trying to see if there's a price. I don't see a price on it. So obviously, this is something that you can attach.
MSRP.
1800.
Yeah, it's down at the bottom in that little infographic that they pulled out of the magazine.
Oh yeah, I see it now. Yeah.
And that ain't going to be the wood one. I can tell you that right now. So.
No.
That's going to be the base model.
Yeah, and this is modular, so you can attach this to the like a lower, the lower part of an AR, and you can run it on an AR, use it for breaching doors and what have you, and then you can run it on its own, huh?
Sure, you can. Turns it into something else, though. When you do that, turns it into a short barrel rifle. I mean, short barrel shotgun. But yeah, you can do anything you want.
Yeah. Yeah. If you follow the laws, you can. You absolutely can.
I'm not talking about,
I'm really surprised they made the barrel so damn long on the breaching version.
I'm wondering if that's for the legality of it. What's the?
Man. Like 22? It's going to be a short barrel shotgun regardless of.
Yeah, once it goes on the gun, right? But in this standalone, it's probably legal. It says 22 inches standard.
Hey, as long as you get that overall length you need, like a shockwave, you're good.
Wait, it says barrel length 22 inches?
Yeah. It's a bullpup.
Yeah. Yeah, so overall length, that might be fine. Standalone.
Nah, man, that's not gonna meet overall length. Looking at that, because that's a Daniel Defense.
It says overall length says 26.5 inches.
That's legal. Boom.
Yeah.
26.5 inches for the 22-inch barrel. I was talking about the underslung version.
Oh, when it's under, yeah.
That's nowhere near 26.5.
No.
Right. Now, there's a video there where they put it on the gun and switch it out and all that. But I think, like, as everyone's saying here, you're going to have to do some paperwork on that one.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. 1,800. What do you think about the price? That sounds a little bit lower than what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I think it'll end up streeting closer to 1,500, and that's about right for something like that.
Yeah. So would you get one?
Man, I don't know.
Okay. What about you, Walt? Would you get it?
I might get one just on the bet that they won't be around forever. But
yeah, no, it won't be.
That thing is too sweet streeper looking for me, buddy. That can't be safe.
Something 3D chess. Something.
You'll shoot your eye out.
That looks too dangerous for us civilians to have.
I like it. I don't know what the wood.
I don't have any problem with it. I'm just thinking what the leftists will say.
I see exactly where you're going with it.
That thing looks like that notorious street sweeper.
Yeah, the cool thing is the cylinder that actually has a shotgun shells. You could take it out and you could put in another one. So
you can have like a whole bandana belt arrangement, having all kinds of cylinders and.
That would be cool if someone built a cylinder with just a belt of 12 gauge on it.
That's a movie gun. I'll be back. You got 500 pounds of cylinders on your belt.
Yeah,
I'm sure Mr. Zanoff has already reached out to him and ordered 30 of them. They
probably already made a couple of movies for all we know.
That's entirely possible. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool though. I like it. If I had the money, I would get one.
I've liked it ever since I saw it at a SHOT Show 10 years ago.
Yeah, if I had the money, I would buy that $1,800 gun, says the man that owns an Audi R8.
Yeah, well, that's why you don't have the money. The Audi R8 has to be paid for. Coincidentally, every month I have to pay money for it. So it cuts into some of my gun purchases, but hey,
I guess the wooden one is for the FUDs, so they can take it out duck hunting or something.
There you go, Joe.
This is not a FUD gun at all. Creator Summit says get a keg 410 or 12 gauge. Sure, why not? Get two.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Get them while you can, because they ain't gonna be around forever. So
Yeah. You should make the keg where you could put that on an AR.
oh, you can. But once again, well, it's already an AOW, but as soon as you put it on a rifle, it turns into a short barrel shotgun. So
Could you sell it with could you sell it as a short barrel shotgun?
Yeah.
If it had a stock on it, like
Yeah.
So, if you built a pick clamp onto the barrel, right? So you could put it underslung.
yeah,
Like attach a stock to a piece of pick rail and then sell it as a short barrel shotgun,
yeah.
avoiding the ridiculousness that is ATF.
Well, because you'd already be a short barrel shotgun. So
Wait a minute. Why couldn't this? Why if you sold a keg 12 with that same arrangement where you had the pick rail on top, right, and then stuck a pick rail attached to a brace, like. You see where I'm going with this? Because the second that you take that thing off and you stick it to a pistol that has a brace on it, so an AR-15 pistol that has a brace, then it feasibly would be within the law.
Does that one of those things that depends what it was how it was manufactured like the receiver?
Well, since Walter's a 07, like it doesn't matter.
or no, too, yeah. I'm waiting for determination now. I don't want to start that again.
This is something you're looking into?
No, I'm waiting. I'm waiting on a determination on the 50 caliber uppers. Remember they said you said they might be firearms in themselves. Well, we're still waiting.
Yeah, thanks, importer who wanted to make a quick buck.
I can tell you who that is if you want.
Yeah, let's talk offline.
Yeah. I got more info. It makes everything made sense after talking to some Canadian people.
Do we have to talk offline about it?
No, I would prefer that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The Norse Horseman says, so does anyone think those two bogus HBs will go all the way? The HR. I don't know if he's talking about HR.
No, I don't think so. He's not
HB.
HR, HPV. What is he talking about?
I don't know if he means HR or HBs. Maybe that's something else going all the way.
Blues.
Homeboys. I don't know, but
man.
House bills.
List.
Yeah. Oh, House bills is probably
House bills.
Yeah. Well, so it went through Congress, and I think that Nancy Pelosi got something else passed through today, right?
Well, the second part of it. The first one was yesterday. The other one today. Yeah.
Yeah. So it comes down to the Senate.
Yeah.
And I think you said you think no, right, Walt?
Yeah. Here's what I think. Yeah. The English way. Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you just adjust your glasses?
Yeah. I don't think it'll. I might get to. He's not going to sign it. There's no way.
Trump says he's not going to sign it if it gets through the Senate. The question is it going to get through the Senate first, I think, and then will Trump actually stick to that?
The reason why it won't.
Which House bill are we talking about?
The one involving extended the background check, and then there was one about just plain old. If I'm not mistaken, just
HR 8 and HR 1112. So
okay, I'll have to look those up. I'm just I just dumped a giant bin of magazines on the floor by accident.
Oh, that's daily life for me.
Cool.
Come on.
Yeah. Nothing broke, right? I mean,
no, it's just like I have a separate 5-gallon bin of like Glock mags because I have to do something with them. And I was moving them, and everywhere they went.
Awesome sauce.
Yeah, they Glock mags. They'll be fine.
Yeah, they're fine. Yeah.
No, they're fine. It's just annoying as shit.
Yeah. But that's the test. That's the test of your mags. You're supposed to be brutal with. See, Walter, if we're shooting, Walter likes to gently put down his mag if he's doing a mag change. He likes to tell the bad guy. He does the whole practice. Excuse me, Mr. Bad Guy. Stop right there. Give me a second. Let me daintily take out this magazine and put it in my pocket or over here first, if you don't mind. And then I will get another magazine and reload it.
That was one of the YouTube comments that I never understood. Like back when I allowed comments because I thought that possibly there might be somebody with a valid question and or opinion. was wrong about that.
Walter
back
is
when
showing off the Galil, by the way. Old school Galil.
Yeah, the Battlefield pickup.
Yeah, that was one of the questions I got all the time. Is like, you just let your mags hit the ground like that? It's like, yeah, mother, like they're fucking disposable tubes that hold bullets.
Bullets.
Yeah. Yeah. I just like to tease Walter about it, but yeah, that's what I do. I just drop them, go to the next one.
Gently set your magazines down.
No, I don't gently set them down. He's described like a ballerina set them down or something. You know, like,
yeah.
I mean, I feel like that might not be far from the truth.
He doesn't drop them. I keep telling Walter, just drop it. He's like, I'm not an animal.
Depends on the gun that we're talking about. Because I think Walter's got some pretty.
I'm talking about AR-15 magazines.
Oh yeah, dump those things in the dirt.
Yeah, or Glock magazines, things like that. So.
Yeah, in the dirt, hey.
Yeah. Now I can't do. Have we ever done like a mag dump with a 50 and then dropped it and put in another one? I don't think so. I think
like, I don't even care about that, man. Like the old CNR stuff that you can't get another mag for. Like I recall the Pedersen PB that Alex and I did a video on years ago. Back when I was
Alex Caps. Alex Caps.
Yep.
Shout out to Alex Caps, one of my favorite people.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen him lately, but he's a cool dude.
Yeah, man. I see him every now and then.
Okay.
So the clip that went into that Pedersen PB was like a $2,400 clip. It was an N block clip.
That's the conversion Patterson thing?
No. I'm talking about the Pedersen PB toggle rifle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so just the N block clip, sourcing one of those. We found somebody who magically had one of these things that was compatible with that particular version of the PB Pedersen, and it was something obnoxious, like $2,400.
Oh yeah, if you pay $2,400 for a magazine,
I mean, it was like a $22,000 rifle.
Yeah, you might be a little bit gentle. You might be. Who is it? Someone. Okay, YNA says I ain't dropping my CZ mags. Laugh out loud unless I have to.
Wouldn't want to hurt your delicate little hands picking them up out of the dirt.
Oh dear.
Yeah. And Creator Summit says mag drop. Some consider that equipment abuse.
Well, maybe those people need a girl pair. Because one, if you are utilizing your carry mags for range time, you're wrong. 2, they're magazines. They're expendable. Like, they don't last forever, just like guns don't last forever. Like, there's nothing wrong with using your stuff hard as long as you care for it, and more importantly, inspect that equipment.
Yeah. Also, don't create training scars for yourself, because if you're going to use that and you're out there practicing to use it in a real situation and you're doing all that, when a real situation happens, you're going to do that.
You know, I feel like that's probably the least likely thing to happen with most of these dudes, because they already have enough training scars otherwise, be it, flinching, pre-ignition push, or whatever the hell else they do, shooting one shot, snatching it back, and derp scanning, or whatever the hell they feel they need to do.
Okay, that makes sense. We all have those. Everyone points out whenever I flinch when I'm in a video. I'm gonna have to get that anti-flinch edit.
No, dude, I was talking to somebody about working on pre-ignition push or flinching and all that stuff, and trying to get it to where I wasn't pulling the sights off target as I was breaking the trigger. And I want to say it was a solid 3,000 rounds of slow fire at 5 yards at a 1-inch circle. With dummy rounds thrown in there. So I did 3,000 rounds of ball and dummy in order to finally get it out of my system. And then I dry fire daily to make sure that I don't continue doing that habit, or pick it back up rather. Okay.
SoCal Gunner gave us $5. He says, mags are a precious commodity in Cali. I can't drop them.
You have 10-round magazines. Use a 10-round magazine for whatever training you're using, you're doing, whatever shooting you're doing, and then when you need to not be on the range shooting and you might need to shoot somebody with it, then use your fancy mags.
Yeah. Let's see. Brian Quick says SIGs are the Alpha Romeo of guns. They look sexy,
Yes.
but will leave you stranded and broke. Do
Yes.
you agree with that? Okay.
The
SIG.
classic P series, I had a conversation with somebody else about this recently.
Okay.
The classic P series just do not shoot well.
Okay.
People believe they do because they're a spendy, but they're just not near as accurate as people believe they are.
When you say the classic P series, what are you talking about?
226, 229, 228.
Oh, okay.
Those 239.
Okay. I mean, I've met people who swear by those things, but
They can't shoot anyway, so what the hell do they know?
okay, good point. I had the SIG P320s. Those are probably the worst SIG pistols ever.
Man, I really like my 320s. Like, I wasn't really a fan of the
trigger was horrible. Huh?
Man, you need to get a hold. You need to place an order for the Gray Guns trigger. That thing is outstanding.
Okay. I mean, I sold those. I got out of them. I know the new ones, the P320s, I think are a lot better with the trigger.
Isn't that what you said? I heard, or the 250? Is that what you had?
I was talking about the 250. That's the 250s were the original ones, right?
Yeah, 250 was the double action only one.
Yeah.
They were bad guns. They weren't great guns. They weren't designed around target shooting. Yeah. It was a duty gun.
DC2 Megaboo says Legion is very accurate. Len Holt says he calls BS. I'm not sure what he's calling BS on. We have spoken about a lot of BS, but I'm not sure which particular.
Probably my guess is the P series guns being less accurate than other guns of the era, and my money is going to be on him owning one.
Yeah, and Len Holt says Patrick is sniffing too much polymer. ... I love it. That's like, you got to read into the dots. If Len would have put 3 dots, you could go, okay. But, but when he put like about 6 or 8 dots, it means he's basically doing, you're sniffing. Very serious to 8 dots. So,
yeah, no, I'm not gonna put that much thought into
this. I don't know about you, Walter, but this your picture, the picture that's coming off of Patrick is disturbing. Whenever it's up there, I don't want to look at the screen.
That's
yeah, and that's why it's staying.
It's disturbing me.
Like I'm leaving it as a result.
Oh my God! Seriously, man. What did we do to you that you hate us so much?
Put an S in my company name.
It's basically this.
How'd that go?
I don't even know. I mean,
don't.
No, you've seen those things where it's like they said I could become a blank or whatever. I think that's on my Instagram. So they said I could be anything I wanted, so I became a worm or something. Like that was. I took that picture to screw with my wife while she was at work. Like I sent her a random, like that picture randomly while she was at work. Right after I had shaved my beard off. Like maybe a month and a half before the convoy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Now I'm fucking with all of you.
Yeah. LB Louis Cypher says the P250 was the hammer-fired older brother of the P320.
Yep.
SIG exercised plausible denial that the P320 wasn't a redesigned P250 for striker fire when it was released.
I don't remember them denying it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember being talked about either, though. So that tells you what I know. I
think the 320 is definitely better. So I've shot a bunch of them. I haven't really actually bought back into it. Just because I don't see people doing a lot of modular stuff out there that would be worth it, right? If you bought one gun and then you bought all the frames for it, I think that works for some people if they live places where it's difficult.
I don't know. I own 2. I went to a media event where SIG Academy showed up with some 320 X5s, and I just shot phenomenally with it. So I went out and I bought one. To be clear, I went and I traded a buddy of mine for something that I didn't shoot anymore, and I really do like that gun a lot.
Okay.
My only gripe with it is the fact that it takes a Romeo 1 optic, which is pretty garbage. But I mean, it's got a nice feature set. It's got a nice trigger out of the box. It's really, really accurate. Let's see here.
So Emmett Ozuna says CZ eats Sig's lunch all day long for half the price.
Not the ones that shoot as well as the Sig.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think of some of the CZs, I guess, are reasonably priced, but most of them are expensive.
They're nowhere near as cheap as they used to be.
Yeah, in my opinion. Killer Ratchet says only SIG I've wanted was a P226 MK or /MK25. And Killer Ratchet says, but Navy, he quotes, but Navy SEALs use the P226, Patrick. What do you know?
Apparently nothing.
Actually, they're getting out of those, if I'm not mistaken.
Huh?
They've been out of those.
Yeah.
Like for a while.
But they used them for a long time. They did, yeah.
Yeah, Lola says that picture is disturbing, Patrick.
Okay.
Well, that's the point. That's the point, right?
Yes.
You're being punished.
You've been naughty. Naughty.
He's been a bad boy.
Yeah.
So my X5 did a 10-shot group in.
Show you guys something.
Come on. 3.04 inch at 25 yards.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean that's respectable, especially out of like garbage blazer brass ammo.
Okay, we lost Walter there for some crazy reason.
Uh-oh.
I think he meant to take off his camera, but dropped out altogether. I'm sure he'll come back in here in a second.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, he's coming back.
Yeah, man, but like my X5 is phenomenal. I like the compact I've got is okay, but I've got like the old frame, and that's not that great. You know, like I'm not a fan of that. But whatever.
Okay, Brian Wyatt says maybe you and Hank could do a video on some of the equipment you used to put on the show. This show, okay, we can always do that. I use Logitech camera. Basically, a Logitech USB camera and a blue microphone. So,
I don't know. Like, my audio sounds like trash.
Okay, doesn't sound too bad. But with the same stuff I use, Walter uses over there. So, Len Holt says, "Hell, Hank, just lock the screen on Patrick and forget about it."
There you go. Stop being a wuss.
No, I am trying to not lock the screen on Patrick. Thank you very much. Yeah, we don't want everyone in the world being traumatized.
It's okay.
And Gunfather says only thing higher than SIG's prices are their bore axes. So there you go.
I don't remember what the heck Killer Ratchet was talking about with that's what any tactical ninja would say, LOL.
Yeah. And Brian Quick says Beretta Elite LTT
Langdon
FTW.
Tactical.
Yeah, FTW and your American made SIG on or your Cold War relic. Okay. Strong word, strong word.
You guys have been punished enough.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Oh my gosh. Do we even get to see you for this show or?
I mean, I'm just kind of working in my office, man. So yeah, I will turn it on here in a few moments.
Yeah. Pinhead 413 says P250 got a bad rap. I made some videos on it. That's one of not the first guns. I had like Glocks, but I did get a bunch of P250s and made some videos. The modularity part of it was cool, but the trigger was just like, yeah.
Yeah, modularity is like caliber changes. A lot of people like love the idea of it, but they just don't do it. You know, I don't really see the point practically when it comes to that stuff, unless you're talking about outfitting a military unit or something like that.
Yeah. And Red Bear says you're not done primping yet. I mean, seriously, we're an hour and a half into this.
I'm cleaning my office. This is the time I have to do it.
Oh, okay, cool. What I don't know what Walter's up to. This has totally degraded. Is Spencer showing you something? Your camera is not on. I mean, your audio is off.
Okay, here we go. Boom.
All right, let's see, Spencer, what you got? By the way, Spencer, looking good in the hat, man. I'm digging the hat. The hat and the sweatsuit jacket. That's a look. It's kind of like says Albanian gangster, but I like it.
Wow. Wow.
You know, come to think of it, there's a bunch of Albanians that run around in Safety Harbor. You know, they import them after the Balkans thing, I think, or something.
Yeah.
You know, and he was so in shock that you said that to him that he froze and he looked like some terrible mannequin in like a discount store.
Yeah, look, he was like, "What? What's up, Spence? What's going on, man?"
Introducing the fusion of Walter Keller and Hank Strange, Walt Tank.
Oh no! Okay, we're gonna have to see this up close. Oh wow! Okay, that's pretty cool. I like that. I see more. I see more of me in there than Hank. It's locked.
Is it?
I see more of me in there than Walt. Let's see.
Ooh.
I like the face. The face is looking real mean.
Hold it up there again.
Yeah, hold it up. Hold it up one more time. Is that a beard?
It's like a shadow.
Oh.
Like what I'm seeing here is like at least one of the Street Fighter characters had sex with Spock, it looks like. And then
It's supposed to be Dragon
decided
Ball Z.
to cut his hair like Hank / Mr. T, and then because he's got weenie arms, he got beat up and all of his chains were taken, so he can't be Mr. T anymore. And then he becomes Hank Strange.
It's supposed to be Dragon Ball Z fusion.
Oh, okay. It's cool, man. You did a good job. You're getting better, by the way.
Yeah, that's good, Spence.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z, Street Fighter, same difference.
Yeah.
Work on the lettering. Walt Tank.
Walt Tank.
Walt Tank.
Yeah. I like it. That's cool, man. You're getting
what I heard first. Walt Tank.
Walt Tank. Yeah.
Walt Taint.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Good work, Spence.
All right.
Yeah, looks awesome.
Yeah. You can make a reality show like Spencer is the head of a local Albanian gang in Safety Harbor.
Yeah, there's a group of them here. They like to get into the restaurant thing, you know, buying restaurants and running them, and
yep.
Mm-hmm.
And,
usually Italian places.
Yeah, it could be like, I think it's a money laundering thing, probably, but.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone says Walter with a mohawk. Oh yeah, I see the brony.
Yeah, that might be a tough one right now anymore. So.
Yeah, that's going to be whatever the opposite of a mohawk is. Yeah, the direct opposite of a mohawk.
Oh, because Walter's going bald?
He's going something. He used to have long blonde locks, I hear. I'm still waiting. I'm waiting for Peggy to hit us up with some of those pictures of
yeah, I would actually enjoy seeing that quite a lot.
Yeah, there's supposed to be a picture of Walt with long flowing locks, a big gold chain, and like his chest all open or something like that. And I'm like, okay, Peggy, can we see this picture? Actually, it must go on the internet.
Oh man, like, so if I get that photo delivered to me, I would be happy to go ahead and stitch Hank's head onto that body and match skin tone.
Not.
Yeah.
We're going in weird ways now.
Yeah, don't make a Walt go blackface now.
I don't want to get like nailed for being a racist asshole.
You know what's okay? Do you know that? Okay, so the governor of Virginia got in trouble because of the whole blackface thing.
Mm-hmm.
So recently, his wife got in trouble and had to apologize
for handing out cotton.
Yeah, because there were kids coming to the governor's mansion, and I guess they were doing a tour and they were talking about slavery, and she was giving them cotton and telling them, well, just imagine what it was like during slavery. Well, that's kind of silly, though. I mean, what's wrong with kids imagining what it was like during slavery? You should.
Well, it's all silly, as a matter of fact. So
yeah. political
I have a lot less
correctness going on.
chores.
Yeah. You know, I don't understand. Like, man, they're Democrats or whatever, so we're not supposed to care. But I do think that's really silly. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, you can't tell the kids to imagine slavery. We got slavery going on right now. Just FYI.
Oh well, and yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah. Those
It's called
Twizzlers are gumming up the works over there, huh, Walt?
Yeah. That's they went. Peggy and Spencer went to the monthly military vehicle club gathering over at Quaker Steak and Lube.
Oh, okay.
I chose to stay here for this.
Thank you. I hope
whatever this is tonight.
Whatever this has been.
Yeah.
I hope you're enjoying yourself. Okay, Emmett Ozuna has a good question, I think.
What's
He
that?
says, I wonder when political correctness will go after chocolate body and bodybuilding.
Can you have a chocolate bunny anymore? Is that good?
No, chocolate body. You know how the bodybuilders have that crazy tan and they look like you have like a white bodybuilder, but he looks like it just
yellow and orange.
Oh, he looks like a turkey.
Or even black. It looks like you just took the head of a white guy and put it on a black guy's body. They tan so much that you've never seen that.
Oh, I've seen it. Now you mention
Disgusting.
it.
Yeah.
I see. I don't think that way though, so it doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I see that. I'm like, man, that's some terrible decisions that.
Yeah, that's a really shitty tan you got there, and a little bit too much oil. But I don't think they're making fun of nobody. It's like, or mimicking people or whatever you want to call it. I don't know.
I mean, even when they're making fun of somebody, I don't necessarily always catch it.
Yeah, it's a decision. I'm not going to hate them for it. They look darker, and what's wrong with that?
Well, that's a bodybuilding thing. You don't go into that competition looking like a ghost.
Yeah, you can't be pasty white. Nobody's going to see your muscles.
Yeah.
Dan hates you says like leather or beef jerky.
Yeah, kind of sort of.
Skin cancer in the making or spray tan. Yeah. Okay, Kathleen Music Lover says bodybuilding is weird to me. I agree with that. I think dudes that like bodybuilding dudes, there's a little bit of gayness involved there. Just a little bit, just a little touch.
Well, what about bodybuilding chicks? Ugh.
Yeah, it can definitely be overdone. Everyone likes a fit chick. I know, I like a chick.
I mean, but when their faces turn into like,
yeah, it could be overdone.
yeah.
That's,
once again, over tanned, over everything,
Yeah. But bodybuilding guys are like spending hours looking in the mirror, building up, and then they're starting to look more round. Like the more muscle you get, the more round you start to look, which, to me is not masculine, is a more feminine
I don't know.
trait. A dude has to be, I think dudes should be ugly, women should be beautiful. That's the way it should be.
But I feel like you've overthought this.
Yeah. Well, probably. I overthink everything.
Personally, I see a bodybuilder. I'm like, well, that's a lot of wasted time, and I move on with my day.
Yeah. Red Bear says leave Olga alone. People do ballet. Don't know what that means.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, you've really got it. There's got to be something going on there to do it. But hey, to each his own. Everyone's free.
Yep.
Do what they want to do.
Some people spend.
Jafari H says, I posted Patrick's O face on Instagram. Uh-oh. So Jafari H, we're gonna have to find. Let me see. I'm gonna go to Instagram.
I feel like I know who that is.
I'm gonna search Jafari H. Jafari
H.
Do I have?
I feel like this is the person I'm gonna end up banning.
Wait, did you tag me? I hope he tagged me on here. Let me see. I'm gonna see if he tagged me in this. Yeah, what is your Jafari? Let's see. I'm trying to see. Okay, you didn't tag me in that thing because I don't see it.
I bleached your mom's O-ring.
Okay, Walter, don't read everything out loud that people are writing in the chat.
Okay, well, I
haven't heard that. Yeah, I thought I was following Jafari H actually, and I'm not seeing the.
Not getting it, huh?
He might have tagged. Hold on. He might have tagged Hank Strange. Let me go over to the Hank Strange one.
Let's see here.
If I got tagged on that.
You see this thing where these generals for gun control support ban on private firearm sales? These
Generals?
Generals, yeah, military generals.
Oh, yeah, no, I found it.
Oh, okay, you found it?
Yeah.
Okay, are you showing us, or I'm still trying to find it here? I can't.
I mean, it's got stuff written. There's 4 of me.
I don't know why I can't find it. I'm searching.
You're tagged at Hank Strange.
Oh, okay, hold on. I just see it. Okay, I do see it now. Okay, there we go. Let's see if we could share it with the people out there. Boom. It looks like an album cover.
Yeah. I'm not even mad.
Yeah, this one. Come on, Jafari H. You could have done better than this. He likes this.
That's not. Well, it's nothing to be mad about. Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing to be mad about there. I thought you would have done something.
Okay, I got a comment.
A little bit more defacing, but I will comment on it. Cool. Nice work.
Did anybody else see this tri-tip AK flash hider by Circle 10 and Mr. Guns and Gear?
No.
It's a 3-prong AK flash hider, but the bottom prong is longer than the other 2.
Okay.
I guess that's to act like to
hide the flash.
Well, to push it down or keep the.
Kind of makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, don't AKs already have a little, like, there's some of those AKs that the muzzle device kind of like scoops out like that in the bottom anyway, right? Like a duck bill kind of thing.
All I see happening with that long prong is it getting bent up into the. But what do I know?
Speaking of long prongs, I'm going to share this picture of my buddy Josh, showing off.
Strangest segues.
Look at that right there. Josh showing off his sexiness. Josh was here on the show. When he comes on the show, he doesn't come on the show like that.
What, half naked with his tats hanging out?
Yeah. So shout out to Josh. That's a cool dude, man.
Maybe that's a good thing.
No, next time he comes on, I'm going to tell him he has to come on like that for the whole show. Yeah. And then you, Walter, it'll be mandatory for you to be here for that show.
I was going to say, can I opt out of that one?
No. No.
Please.
All right, look at that. Look at that sexy hunk of man meat right there.
Yeah.
With the office all cleaned up now.
Yeah, I had guns all over the place. I'm downsizing what's in the safe like drastically. I think I've got like 30 or 35 guns earmarked for sale.
Oh, really? Okay. Yep. Where are you selling them through?
Some of them
the gun show.
Huh?
The gun show.
Right. Now,
true indeed. Have a Joe Rogan special.
Right. Yeah, so like probably most of them are going to end up on Gunbroker.
Okay, so I got to ask you this, Patrick. I keep seeing these ads for the Walther Q5 match. What do you think? What do you think?
Which one?
The
steel frame?
Yeah. What do you think of that?
I really like that thing, man. Like, I shot it briefly at Industry Day. A buddy of mine, Bill Blowers at Tapac Tactical's got one, and he's done some really incredible shooting with it.
What do you think about the Walther's shoot it, love it, buy it program that they have going on?
I mean, that's cool. I think it's neat that they're that they're allowing people to, either like their gun or get rid of it and get their Mooney back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not bad. I think it's a good thing for them to do out there. Do you think for folks out there who are interested in Walthers, which ones do you think are the good ones? This one you're talking about from SHOT Show, or?
Yeah, I think that one's really, really awesome. Let's see here. God bless it. That one's good. The PPS, both the original. I think the original is better than the M2, but the M2 is also good. Some of the other ones are good, but maybe not necessarily something I would look to for like duty, like a defensive firearm, due to how the gun's designed. It's like almost 100% cock. Bore axis doesn't matter. Slide mass matters. Like way more.
Okay, I think someone's asking. I think Emmett Ozuna, why is the bore axis so high?
Yeah. That's not anywhere near as important as the mass of the slide.
Okay.
So like, I spent a bunch of time like I spent maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours just sitting there watching slow-mo videos of different pistols going through the recoil cycle, trying to figure out like at what point the muzzle rise really starts to become a thing.
Okay. Panhead 413 says, if they send it back, will the second buyer get a discount? I'm assuming because it's the gun's used, you know. Once you've got that gun out there and you're shooting it, that's a used gun now, right?
Sure.
Good God.
So,
so have you? I know they're seem to be popular because we've transferred a few of them. The Creed, that's their low end, like 250 gun.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I think that the Remington RP9 is a better gun.
Really?
Yeah, I really like my RP9. When you take it into context, if you start comparing it to Glocks, yes, it's garbage. But if you compare it to the price bracket it lives in, like the RP9 is like really, really good. And Tyven, yes, I will be giving people a round count disclaimer on the ones I'm selling. I will 100% tell people how many rounds that I'm aware of being through the gun.
Okay, so it looks like Tyven's asking some questions about the guns that you're selling. He might be interested.
No, he's just being a dick. Tyven doesn't have any fucking money anyway, so like, move along.
Okay. I'm sure Tyven challenge accepted. It looks like earlier Tyven said, okay, so you're selling these guns with thousands and thousands of rounds through them. And wore out, buyer beware.
If like a gun wore out after thousands of rounds, then it was trash to begin with. Like nothing I own is worn out, to include the Glock 19 that I carry every day. That's got north of 20K through it. So, bye.
Yeah. Let's see. Can get a Creed for. Go ahead. Go ahead. If you got something to say, you could say it.
Yeah, no, all I'm saying is that like that's just some ignorance talking.
Yeah, I think I think Tyven just
keep me honest. Okay.
I think Tyven just, he just likes you, man.
Dude, it's weird.
I think he likes you. It's like that girl in nursery school or kindergarten that's always pulling your hair. You guys have that kind of a situation going on here.
It's just like I don't think about it. I don't care.
What is this Creed gun that is that a Walther?
Yeah, it's a Walther Creed. So you were asking earlier if you'll lock that on me, if you don't mind, Hank. Okay. You were asking about the Q5 match steel frame. This is Bill shooting a B8 bullseye at 25 yards as quickly as he can. So you're not gonna be able to hear it, but he's got a clean B8, sets it up, and sends it out there. And he's gonna run it from like a retention holster, like a duty rig, so something a cop would carry. That's not easy to draw from quickly. He pumps out a like 6.27 time for 10 rounds, right? And look at this. That's just freaking awesome right there.
And this was the Creed or the Q5?
That's the Q5 match steel frame.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. Because there's obviously a polymer frame with that too.
Yeah. There is.
So to me, I see our steel frame and I go old school. I mean, that's all it is just old school.
No, man, they wanted the most weight possible, and it was like really designed around competition shooting. So like more weight in gun is better for recoil mitigation.
Oh yeah.
You should know that, yeah.
But it's like steel frame. What's old is new again. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's like.
I mean, it's a competition gun, right?
Right. You know, like a 19. Well, not 1911, but that's the same idea. Yeah.
I mean, kind of these days.
Yeah.
Okay, so this Nigerian thing, with the time we have left, you guys were talking about this before. This is in TFB. Small arms influx into Nigeria. Wyman's perspective. So Wyman, I guess, is a Nigerian contributor to TFB.
Yeah.
And he says, for a few years now, there's been an increasing trend of attempts to smuggle arms into Nigeria through the ports, hidden in sealed containers and false bottoms of trucks. So there's like this article is just showing all the different arms that I've seen him do stuff as well, like on people just making their own guns in Nigeria. So
yeah. I mean,
yeah. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, if you didn't have any guns here, what would you be doing? They'd be smuggling them in.
Smuggling, manufacturing.
Right. So it's they have a bad in Nigeria, as you know, they have a bad.
They have a bad everything problem.
Yeah, I mean, crime and everything else, and nobody
right.
Everything's a racket to get any protection, probably. So people need some way to protect themselves. So
yeah, I mean, I don't know how you can live anywhere in the world without being able to protect yourself. No matter, whether it's Nigeria or anywhere here, you should be able to defend yourself and protect yourself.
Nigeria in particular is extra weird. Like they hire armed guards to watch over their like neighborhoods and stuff, because if you make any kind of money, kidnapping is a very real threat.
Yeah, when we lived there, we had armed guards, but I could tell you a little secret: they didn't know shit.
Well,
they weren't very proficient. They were actually a bunch of idiots. It's just some dudes with guns. It's not that different from when we were talking to Tig, I mean, if something really went down, they would leave us or probably be the ones to set something up,
Yeah.
Like I know my dad, when he went away to another state or something like that, he would have guards over there. And then we lived on a campus because my dad worked for Polytechnic University in Kaduna, but as a professor, but it's really not any kind of security, to be honest with you.
From that article, they mentioned how many, I guess, tribes or groups. I'm like, holy shit. It's like 300 different tribes or something like that. Or
in Nigeria, there's 3 main tribes for sure, but there's probably a bunch of offshoots.
Yeah, there's 3 main that oppress everybody else. Yeah. Probably.
Nigeria itself is split up into 3 tribes. 2 of them, like Yoruba, Igbo, and those are generally Christian, but Africans all have their original religion. And then there's the Hausa, which are Muslims, but also have their original religion.
And they're all scared of the juju, Buana. So
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So that's it's a crazy situation. I think that you've got to be able to defend yourself over there, but people obviously aren't. They've got to find a way. Someone wants to know what Walter and Patrick think of the 450 Bushmaster.
I was just typing in response to that. I've got no opinion on it whatsoever. That's not my lane. Like,
I haven't had any exposure to it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm building one. So at some point when we finish that, by me, I mean Patrick, the other Babyface. We've got one here that we're putting together. So when we put that thing together and we go through it, we'll let you guys know. Yeah.
I mean, the only thing I know about those AR type platforms with the big bullets, you better have a good muzzle brake, or it's gonna beat you up.
Yeah, the muzzle brake on it that we got looks a lot like a like a 50 muzzle.
Well, it should because
it
should. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm really sure it'll be fine.
Yeah. Once we build something, we'll let you guys know. And I'm putting it together just for shits and giggles. So
right.
Yeah. we'll see what's going on with that.
Yeah.
Simpson Road Larry says he is the Bushmaster. Okay. Congratulations to you.
Okay.
Might I suggest some hedge clippers?
Oh dear. Yeah. Too late in the evening for that conversation to start.
Yeah. Example, John, example Smith. My next door neighbor is Nigerian, I'm assuming. He told me to call him Prince. I call him the neighbor formerly known as Prince.
Yeah.
Lots of people in Africa consider themselves princes and princesses and kings and queens and stuff like that. They do actually have, because there's a ton of tribes, like Walter is saying. Yeah. And every tribe actually has some kind of
leader,
royalty or whatever.
It's like socialism or communism. They've got their leaders that oppress everybody else. Boom.
Yeah. And like Lola's from Ghana, and they have a ton of kings and queens and princes and all that kind of crazy nonsense going on. So
and Juju,
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Lola is in there somewhere secretly. But no one wants to tell me because they don't want me to stake claim to the family castle.
To the family hut.
If you have enough money, you could go to a lot of different places. And yes, you will basically, be. I saw something where Kaepernick was in Ghana, I think. And they had like a whole party for him. He's like, oh my God, the Africans up. Yeah, you have money. Everybody loves you. Yeah. So, yeah. All right, cool. I think we're over the 9 o'clock hour. I think we've probably made you guys suffer enough. I don't know. Do you guys need any more suffering? Do you need extra suffering? Should we have Patrick go back to the crazy face? Hey.
No, I was just watching another one of Bill's videos. That dude shot like 10 rounds a weekend, had 25 yards, scored 95 out of 100 in under 20 seconds. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, he looks legit. Who does Bill work for?
Bill used to be a SWAT guy. He retired. Now he's got a training company called Taprack Tactical. But really, really competent shooter. Knows his stuff quite well.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very cool. Walt, the people want to know, what can you tell people about the Galil you have here before we get out?
Well, this one here is a Century Arms Golani, as they call it.
Golani.
I took the horrendously bad folding stock off it and put a Galil wood stock on it.
Oh, is that a Galil?
Yeah. Makes a really nice gun once you get rid of that nasty folding stock. That's this one. This weekend we're
that's a how many round magazine? 30?
This happens to be the 50 rounder that the Israelis made. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you got a couple of those, right?
I have one 50 rounder. I don't have. I got a whole bunch of regular 35s.
Sexy. You only got one of the 50 round magazine?
Yeah. This particular one here I built from a kit early 2000s when the assault weapons ban was still on. Using demilled receiver pieces, and I made a laser cut sheet metal receiver and welded it all up. So I'll have that out this weekend. We're going to shoot all three of them.
Jafari H says he lived in Ghana for a few months in Accra and Takoradi. I know I'm not saying that right. At least I hear Lola saying Accra because that's where she lived. But that's pretty much that's like the center. So that's cool. There's lots of people that go there on missions and stuff like that. Okay, is this another Galil? Is this a different one? Yeah.
I'm reading somebody's post.
Yeah, don't read the other stuff out loud. Walter. Thank you. Just let
knitting is a valuable skill.
This is what I call the battlefield pickup. I just had this one assembled for me.
This looks good, man. I really like it.
Century Arms receiver, American-made barrel, and just left it all natural finish. This one folds. It does all the normal stuff. Plus, I left the muzzle brake loose because I'm going to get a Gemtech brake for it so I can run the Gemtech can on it. So
cool. Very nice. Very nice.
So
I like the patina on this one.
I just wanted to have one that looks like a real gun, not all pretty where you're scared to scratch it. Mm-hmm. So I'll drop the mag on this for you if you like.
Yeah, I will definitely drop it for you.
This mag is
Well, no, that didn't come out right. That didn't come out.
Man, this has been a weird podcast. Like I've consistently felt reasonably uncomfortable.
Yeah. What did you get out of the safe, Patrick?
I got some guns out of the safe. So I grabbed. We were talking about the SIGs earlier, and I grabbed my X5 here, which I really quite like a lot. It's one of the early ones, and coincidentally, still not upgraded. The X5s didn't run into the issue because they had a lighter trigger, and it's just a target gun. I need to send it in though. But yeah, it's a reasonably large gun.
Yeah.
I guess that
looks like
sense.
A Desert Eagle.
Nah, man. I'd say so. Size comparison, you've got, a Glock 19 next to it.
Okay, yeah.
So it's not that big. Once you stick the mag in there,
in your little baby hands, it looks bigger.
Yes,
that's what she said.
Sure.
Yeah, this is not going to end until it ends.
Rat Ride was asking me about Century Arms Galil. I had no problem with my Century Arms Galil.
Lucky.
So, yeah, mine shoots fine. So, that's all I can say.
There are some out there that don't, but I wouldn't let that dissuade you.
If you can find a good deal on one,
hey. Buy it.
Yeah. When was Century Arms bringing those? Because that's not recently.
The Galani. I think I got this
90s.
No. This is
no. It would have been like
5-6 years ago, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. I can't remember exactly. I've had it for a while, and then I finally got the stock that I really wanted on it. Yeah.
No, you're right. That'd be right around maybe 2010, 2011, 2012 area, possibly.
And now American Tactical Imports, I think, is coming out with one. They had it at the SHOT Show. A couple people are getting ready to build new Galils with surplus parts. So, hey.
New old stock.
Yeah. Yep.
New old stock, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Now, what are you putting together, Patrick?
This is my 509 tactical slide on the mid-size frame.
Okay.
So I'm going to take it back to the range and re-zero it. I'm going to pop this off, put an RMR onto it, and go back to carrying it.
Okay, very cool. Were you going to show us something else, Walt?
No, I was just flopping this Battlefield pickup one around again. Woo!
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, I'm gunned out right now. So.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, all of the shit that's in my safe is all the old stuff that's been in there forever. I'm sure there's something I haven't pulled out.
Yeah. So, but you're clearing out the safe so you can get some new guns in?
Mm-hmm. Well, not necessarily to get new guns in. I just don't shoot them. Okay. Like, I've got the tendency to grab a couple of guns, and that's about it when it comes to hitting the range and trying to get better at being a shooter. Okay. I've got less interest in collecting guns now than I have in the past. So, like, a lot of the stuff that I picked up to expand my collection is leaving.
Okay. Me Too on Tube wants to know who sells Galil parts kits.
Apex has them.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, they do. Yep. I just saw it today, $3.99. Apex. Yeah.
That's not bad.
And they're nice. From the pictures, they look like nice parts kits, decent condition. The one that I used to build this, the one with the homemade receiver, it looked like it came out of a hut in Central America.
I would absolutely get behind the idea of building another AK, but I don't have the tools, and the person that I would send it to these days still hasn't finished my underfolder.
Oh,
Brandon Herrera.
Oh, well, I can recommend somebody if you.
Yeah, he's got my damn gun.
Brandon.
Yes, still.
Is he working on that, or he's working on the 50 AK? Who knows?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think we're supposed to get Brandon to come on sometime soon.
You know, when you do, like, send me a text so I can come in here and yell at him, build my fucking gun, and then just leave.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good luck with that.
No, he's had that gun since like maybe September of last year.
Oh, okay. You know who's pretty good at building AKs? Babyface. Babyface P. But who would you recommend, Walt? You said you're going to recommend someone.
I would recommend Troy Sellers at In Range C2.
Okay. Troy Sellers.
Yeah, Troy Sellers, yeah.
Okay. Very cool. All right. Listen, you guys ready to wrap this up?
I'm done, ready. I'm good.
I've been,
okay.
Sure.
Walter, how do you want the people to follow you out there?
Facebook, Instagram, that kind of stuff. Stay tuned. Haven't heard anything from ATF yet, but we're waiting. So
we're still waiting.
We're still waiting. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So yeah, stay tuned.
Okay. Cool. What about you, Patrick?
If you're not smart enough to find me through using the Google machine, I'm pretty sure that I would prefer it to stay that way.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna get off here and
I'm
just gonna go back to writing stuff.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna end this. Thanks to everyone for watching, especially the people that stuck with us for all this time. We're gonna get off now. We're gonna get off. I'm gonna end it. Peace, guys. Thanks.